Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside these shows while they are live, and a link in the info box once the video has rendered. But most importantly, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number one, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. I'm going to transition straight across to Anthony Riley, or Sleeping Warrior, as he is live from St. Bees. How are you doing, Anthony? Good to have you here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Great. I'm just going to have to grab a call, mate. Someone's calling me. I'll come straight to you.
It's a perfect timing. Great introduction.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. So yes, once again, if you did want to join the panel, feel free to mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. I may transition to the photographs as we've got nothing to hear from Anthony Riley in the meantime. You may or may not hear from me shortly if we have Anthony back, or if not, to introduce our first guest. Double check that the actual link works. It seems to fail every single time I start the live show. It vanishes. No! The first time for everything. It's actually there. Ready to use. So Anthony's been busy beavering away, sending me photographs of lighthouses that shouldn't be there. That apparently are only there because the perfect atmospheric conditions allow them to be there. And yet on a different set of conditions during a different day with different cloud levels and different heats, we still see it. It's still there. Not a hologram. Not being bent around anything. Flat as a pancake. So we've also had some further good news from St. Bees, which is they have confirmed a part of the scale for themselves, which is the best way to do it, rather than taking the word of somebody who's modelled it, or me, who is convinced by the person who has modelled it, in terms of what the scale is. And these guys have gone out and just verified it with their own cameras and their own eyes and checked what they can see and what they can't see, which means excellent news for the Flat Earth QED team, as we will release a working model of a flat Earth as a consequence of the guys' trip up to St. Bees over the last couple of days. So they've been beavering away very, very, very feverishly to gather some more data, which is great. Hopefully we'll get to hear all about it. Been joined by Tim Osman, if it is the real Tim Osman. How you doing? You're on mute at the moment. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Oh, just booted you. I'm really sorry. Just as you said yes. We do have fake Tim Osmans. My apologies. Feel free to join with your other account. I'm sorry I kicked you. Just a hair too slow. Hopefully we'll have Tim Osman back. So yeah, good news. We'll present a flat Earth model as an alternative to the globe model that failed to represent what's there and seems to be consistently there if you go back and check on a different day in different conditions. So we will present a working flat Earth model alternative to explain these very simple observations. Things are there because we see them. We live on a flat plane. Pretty simple stuff, but we'll explain it in detail with a scale model that works, that needs no apologies, that needs no band-aid theories using refraction to explain anomalies that don't work with the model. It'll just work, and that'll get presented shortly.
Hey, did you deal with that guy that joined?
Say that again.
Did you deal with the guy that joined?
It was Tim. He did actually say hello. I just kicked him at the, like, literally said hello, and I already pressed the click button as he was booted, so I'm hoping he'll rejoin. Probably got a few questions for you, maybe for me, who knows.
Well, yeah, so Ranty right now, as we speak, Ranty's up at the observation point, and he is literally getting the exact same footage that I got, because it happens to be a crystal clear day, and we can see far. We can see Mako Lighthouse, clear as day. We can see a variety of other things, and because he's got specific things to look at, He's able to focus in on things that he wants to specifically look at. Whereas I only panned across with a video. Ranty's now getting like designated, dedicated shots specifically of certain things.
How you doing, Tuft of Trees? Can you hear us? Hello? Wait a little bit longer this time in case it's Tim Osman with mic problems again. Can you hear us, Tuft of Trees? Oh, no, it's kicked everybody out. What a shocker. I do actually want people to challenge Anthony Riley about various different things. Now he's gone out and got a bit more confirmation. He's currently at St. Bees, so what I'm going to do for the audience's benefit is just transition to my photos and start up a new hangout and invite Anthony Riley back in. So bear with me while I do that. I've got you open so the audience can still hear you. I'm going to start a new hangout because Tuft of Trees presumably just joined to snipe you. But what I'll do is I'll start a brand new hangout and publish the link.
Who that was.
I don't know. It was me that kicked you, Tim Osman, by mistake because I thought you were a fake Tim Osman. So if that was you joining as Tuft of Trees just to snipe Anthony Riley, there was no need. It was me that kicked you by mistake. But I'll start a new hangout and hopefully there's no love loss between us and we will continue, hopefully, in a moment. But yeah, if you just jump off Skype, it'll take me about 30 seconds. I'm a bit ill, so I'm not great at multitasking. Thank you very much. Tedious though this may be, I'd rather have a proper hangout. Hopefully we'll have in moving forward with Flat Earth Debate, we'll hopefully have this happen more often, that we just have a cordial debate rather than people sniping for no good reason. And as that happens, hopefully I will be less and less inclined to beat people who don't speak immediately. Yeah, I'm very pleased today. Very calm and relaxed. Not in the slightest bit tense on account of the fact that things I was hoping would progress with the Isle of Man have progressed. And without a little bit of fuss and pressure, maybe you could call it, from me. You know, I just didn't want to see the thing die. It's an exceptionally good flat earth proof, and I want it to be seen in that light. Because that's what it is. There we go. New hangout started. Tedious though it is. My apologies to you in the audience. Thank you very much for bearing with me and joining in the first place. Alright, let's get this out on Skype first. Great start to the show. Yesterday I had a Wi-Fi error and the whole thing died 5 minutes after starting. Okay. The masturbators, you have got the link in the Skype group. Have the Flat Earth QED team. There we go. That'll probably do. If you're watching this and you know me, that's where you find the link for today's show. If you're on Skype. Go back to the chat while we wait for a few guests, and then I'll post it in the link afterwards, in the info box rather. There we go. Hopefully, Anthony Riley, you've seen that link in Skype. Yeah, sniping the show just makes it boring. You know, creates 5 minutes work for me, which I don't mind doing, I suppose. That's today's show, but you know, I'd much rather be talking about interesting things. Like the flat earth proof. More exciting than talking to myself about restarting the hangout. Are you, Sleeping Warrior? Have you joined? No. Right, see if I can do a few shout outs. I've done all that faff that I did before I even started. What are we, half an hour into the show probably? No, maybe not, a quarter of an hour. Cat Earth, good to see you. Shruminati, Ute, nice to have you here. Scooby Doo, good to see you. NASA says, thank you for being here. Sleeping with one eye open, thank you for being here. Chris, good to see you. Nick, good to see you. I will not agree with everything you say. Thank you for being here. Baron von Pop Poopy Pants. Hello. Thank you for being on our live stream. Please share the show. Pete Shea. Planning on joining? Just drop us a line in the chat and make sure I'm aware of it. Sky Fly Bry. Thank you for being here. John Watson, nice to see you as well. Free Minded as well, good to see you too. Roland 500, new name. Thank you for being here. Be sure to subscribe, Roland. Or maybe you're not a new name, maybe if I'm wrong. My apologies. Netty Voyager, thank you for being here. Mark Beezer, good to see you. Alan B, thank you for being here. Nice to see you as well. Sean, thanks for being here. Any more for any more? Probably about it. Oh wow. So you're blocked from joining this conversation even if I start a new hangout. That's interesting. Very strange. Okay, looks like I'll have to go over to Skype. I've got no choice.
Yo.
Hello. Sorry, got to bring you in on Skype. No options. So if you wanted to share anything, which I was hoping you would be able to, but I can just about do it through Skype.
Yeah, well, Ranty's out at the minute with his P900, so he's got the card, so there's nothing for me to share anyway.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, the simple fact is that he's doing exactly what I did, and we've got better weather today. It's good weather, and it's clear as a whistle. We can see stuff, and we're not meant to see it. So at the 35 feet elevation, we can see that floaty land. That floaty land. I think that floaty land is Isle of Man now. Having had the benefit of going up to see it with Ranty today, it probably is the Isle of Man. The problem that I have is it's meant to be that far behind the curve of the Earth. We shouldn't see it, and we are seeing it. So it's either the.
Bear with me a sec, sorry. We've got Tuft of Trees. Is that you, Tim?
Yo, what's up, guys? Hey, it's not Ireland. What do you know? Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, yeah, I just was happy to hear him say it's not Ireland. Very nice.
Any more? Is that it?
Oh, I thought I lost you again.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy that you guys conceded that you were wrong.
You know what else we see?
For so long.
It's just interesting that we still see the lighthouse.
Are you going to take down the video on all these people's channels that you said was Ireland, or
not at all?
Are they going to keep
Ireland on a failed globe model. Now, as a consequence of today's observations, Tim, we can produce a flat Earth model. Maybe you weren't listening earlier.
So does a flat Earth model just entail like a very small section of like just one observation is a flat Earth model to you?
Correct, it's a model of a flat Earth that will explain things like the lighthouse that's geometrically impossible to be there on a sphere, being there consistently regardless of the weather conditions. Your Band-Aid refraction will be put to bed.
I would just call that a model from St. Bees to...
Or we'd call it an accurate
Isle of
model
Man, wouldn't it be?
of an observation, which you can't explain because your geometry prevents you from doing so and requires Band-Aid theories.
I'm glad also that we got more observations. That's excellent stuff. Maybe we can pick apart this one too. I hate to shame you guys, but you deserve it in a certain sense, you know? Is Riley there?
He
Yeah,
is.
I'm just
big man
speaking to
Riley.
you because you're a prick.
What's up, buddy? It's a very somber show.
Yeah, that's the effect you have on people, Tim. What are you doing here, Tim?
I'm playing Dota 2. Actually,
Well, go and play Dodo too.
No, Dota, not Dodo. I'm not Pete Shea.
Well, go and do whatever you want.
Have you looked into the Dodo? You can see Ireland from the Dodo. It's a good day, man. You guys conceding this, I'm extremely happy about it. You know, it's just we got to get this disinfo off of these people's channels. You know, because people might take you seriously, and that would be a damn shame. Riley, so you were wrong? Is that what I'm hearing? Is that you were wrong about all that Ireland? All that Ireland stuff that you went on for a long, long time? You're wrong? Just trying to confirm that you were wrong about that. I feel like I've been sniped. Well, hopefully the people in the chat can hear Timmy's voice, because I know that that is what they came for.
No, we're here. I'm just letting you have your moment while I change my kid's nappy.
Whoa. Yeah, I was trying to talk to Riley about his disinfo and misinfo that he has on people's channel and when he's going to get that removed, because it's not right.
Oh, there'll be nothing removed.
This is a whole
there is
truth
no
movement and
disinfo.
stuff, so.
What disinformation?
Good morning.
Hello, Alan.
What disinformation?
Did you hear that Riley finally conceded? But they can't concede completely. They just have to say, oh, well, there's not enough curvature, but, you know, the whole Ireland thing that we went on for 30 shows or whatever, you know, we were wrong about that, guys. Sorry, whoopsies.
I'll concede.
Tim.
No, Tim. No, I've already...
hours.
I had this conversation off air with you.
20 hours.
So,
Yeah.
I'll concede, Tim. No problem. We were wrong about Ireland.
That's good. I appreciate that.
The best flat Earth evidence ever.
Ever, dude.
And remain so.
Ever.
Absolutely.
Ever.
It will get stronger as a consequence.
It's a good job you didn't go on the BBC.
Well, hopefully that will follow. Maybe you didn't
Tim,
hear either, Alan. Do
Tim.
you understand what the consequences of this are? You may have a short-lived victory that we have to eat a bit of humble pie about an assessment of Ireland being incorrect on a failed globe model, which is what we did. We presented a model of the globe that failed, and that model was inaccurate in terms of its representation of Ireland. To wrap that model around a sphere and give it a fighting chance of not failing, yeah, that model failed. We declared that. Now, we will have a working representation of the same observation on a flat plane, and it'll explain things like the holographic presentation of that holographic lighthouse that you can't see because it's geometrically impossible to see, that being there on different conditions, on a day with different conditions, like today. How's the lighthouse looking, Anthony? Good?
Does the humble pie come with custard or cream?
Humble pie, we got it wrong. I've already conceded this about a week ago. I'm happy to concede it again.
Are we due another 120 hours then?
Yeah, hopefully it'll get a lot
So you guys
more.
are wrong about
As a
geodesy and the
consequence of us
geoid.
having a working alternative to your model that fails.
No, your model failed, remember? Because you could see Ireland or whatever.
No. Maybe you should pay a bit more attention. That was a model of a sphere. Did you not pick up on that part?
Yeah, but you said that there was going to be Ireland, so why would we trust you now? Though?
Yeah, on the
like,
model
you're
of a
wrong
sphere.
about the geoid, you're
on
wrong
the model
about
of a sphere.
geodesy, you're wrong about.
On the model
I mean,
of a
you got
sphere
Chris
that
Monk
failed.
on here doing fail math to everybody. I mean, this is
What
complete
part of that
destruction
don't
of your
you
own
understand,
meme.
Tim? You're talking about the sphere model that failed.
No, I haven't declared that. You declared that, just like you declared Ireland was being seen.
Yeah, on a sphere model that failed.
That failed to you because you guys are doing absolute numpty work. I
Well,
mean,
you
Chris
can
is an
critique
absolute
the
idiot.
working model, Tim. The failed model, you want to criticise our assessment of the land on the failed model. Fair enough. I'll eat humble pie and say, yeah, we got it wrong. Well, we now have it right. And we will present that as an alternative to your crappy model that failed. The globe model, that would be.
That's you,
I think
Tim.
you have to demonstrate that first. That,
We will.
That it's failed.
We will.
in some
That's
way.
precisely what we'll be doing. Thank you for that suggestion.
I'm sorry, I'd like to interject there.
Hi, Netty, Voyager, how you doing?
Yeah, hi. I'd just like to interject. None of us actually failed. Just let me pause this shit. Sorry, so just let me pause this.
Language.
Yeah, no, sorry. None of us actually fail in anything. It's just a figure of speech. That what we actually do is we progress and we carry on.
Who are you?
And we try our
Who the hell are
hardest
you?
to try and make it work. It's all to do with the actual trying, you know. It's having the courage to carry on.
Hello?
Way of putting it, yeah.
Who are you?
Who are you? Is that an echo or something?
No, that's Timothy Osman.
Oh, it's him again.
No, that's not his
You're
name.
saying we? What are you talking about? Who's we? Who are you?
Who are you?
Me.
Who are you? You're not Tim Osman. That's not your name. What's this conversation about? What's the point of it?
I'm independent of
There's a
this
guy online
conversation.
who's
I
disagreeing
stand
with
on
you.
the fence.
That's who he is.
Some random guy. We did this and we did that. No. Maybe you
Yeah,
haven't.
you're
seen
some
the
random
last,
guy.
like,
That's all you
60
are. You're a
shows,
nobody.
dude.
You're a faceless
Maybe it's a
potato.
collective of 2.5 million people that are all trying to come to the same conclusion that everybody else is. It's theoretical.
2.5 million people? Who are you talking about?
Half
2.5
of you
million?
doing it.
Who is 2.5 million people? What are you talking about?
A collective of people that are actually doing this, trying to theorize and project a different idea and to come to some other, I don't know, purpose in their lives to try and.
Where did you get that number from? 2.5 million? Where did you get that number from?
Well, 7 billion people on the planet, so it was just a quite average thing, you know. It's just a quick figure that I pulled into my head. 2.5 million.
Oh, okay.
That's a rough estimate. I mean, if you want, I ain't got actual.
Kind of like Riley and Oakley and Ranty with their assumptions and just 2.5 million. And I can see Poland from Auckland and all this kind of stuff.
We can see things relative to the perspective of our ability to see it.
Oh, really? That's
With
profound.
mechanical or not mechanical means. I mean, relative distance for the natural eye to see is what, 9 miles? So
No, we can see stars and they're more than 9 miles. We can see the sun even on a flat Earth. I think the sun's a little.
Real Arwen, how you doing? Can you hear
projection
us?
of the
Hello,
of
Arwen.
what they
Can you hear
are.
me? Yeah, we hear you.
You heard of atmospheric dispersion?
Is that a Skiba video or is that a Derek Dubé video? Which one?
Atmospheric dispersion is a phenomenon that happens through the atmosphere, through the upper ionosphere. It's the way that light bends and makes things look differently to the human eye.
Was that on Dubé or was that on Skiba or
No,
which
that's
flat
an
Earth
actual
propagandist
fact.
said that?
That's an actual fact.
Okay.
So are the precession of the equinox and the movement of the heavens, right?
Yeah, I agree.
This
What do you have to
all
say about the two celestial points then?
Yeah, this is all relative, right? Yeah. So the things that we think, the way that they
I'm talking
move.
to a recording. Is this a robot? What do you think about the two celestial poles then?
What? They're both in the same place.
What are you talking about? Both in the same place?
The celestial poles. There's only one celestial pole, and there's an old celestial pole. It has
There's one
changed.
celestial pole, huh?
Yeah, there was two, but it changed to Polaris about 300 years ago. It
Okay,
wasn't.
so you don't know that there's a southern celestial pole then? Sigma Octantis?
Sigmatensis is a celestial pole. Maybe you can use
It's
it as a reference point.
the closest star. It's the closest visible star.
No, you use them as reference points to triangulate.
Do you understand that there is two celestial poles? Yes or no?
One relative to the southern atmosphere, to the southern region, is not an actual pole. It's just a reference point that you triangulate from three other stars.
So there aren't stars that go around a central point in the southern hemisphere. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No, because Polaris is fixed and it has its own orbit of about 1 degree.
I'm saying the southern hemisphere. I'm not talking about the northern hemisphere.
Doesn't have any fixed point or celestial being or fixed celestial point. No, it all rotates. It's called the precession of the equinox. It all moves around, but the only one point that stays where it is Polaris. But it takes a hell of a long time for it to actually move out of sync. It does have its own wobble, yeah. It wobbles maybe 1 degree every 70 years, but that's about it. It's very negligible. But as for a celestial fixed point, no, there isn't. There can't be. Because it's expanding outwards.
So is there a flat earther on here that can confirm that there's a south celestial point to this guy? Maybe he'll listen to you guys. I don't know. He's talking about the precession of the equinox in 1 degree every 7 years, which
70 years.
Is partially true, but I think that you're thinking 1 degree in the sky, first of all. It's not 1 degree in the sky. It's 1 degree of the 360 degrees out of a 22,000 year cycle, right? So have you done any kind of measurements of that, or are you going off the globe model on that one?
I don't know, whatever you want to call it, flat, globe, whatever it is. Who knows? Who's seen it? Who can prove it?
You're just you're conflating and jumbling up both models or whatever. I don't even know.
No, it's the same thing. It's a circular debate. Do you get it?
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's a circular debate. It's
well,
round.
If you don't know what the
round.
other celestial point is besides northern celestial
circles,
point, then I guess it is
3D.
You're a troll, I think, actually.
No, I'm not a troll. I stand on the fence in between both these two.
Yeah, you're a troll.
Because it's a circular debate. It always has been. They're both circles, whether you look at it from the front, the top, the side. It's got to turn into a 3D representation of itself to become a sphere. And what puts it into 3D? Our eyes. Puts it into 2D. Our brain makes up the rest of it. Nothing is actually 3D. Everything's flat. Everything's 2D. It travels into one point to its perspective. The rest of it you see is peripheral, relative to its perspective. Your brain makes up the rest and changes it to 3D because we do. We have to, because that's the realm in which we live in to actually understand it.
Well, our eyes actually create the perspective, and with the globe of the heavens, it just seems to be there at the edge of vision. And however we interpret that is
even Arwen with his horny goat weed knows that there's a south celestial pole, dude.
No, I don't. No, that's still open for debate. I haven't seen any solid proof of this yet.
I have to see proof of that because I'm an astrophotographer.
Well, look it up.
I'm an astrophotographer.
Yeah, look it up. Sure, look it up, and all these sources that all support the globe.
Or okay, then if you don't believe them,
so
then
reliable,
go do it yourself.
it's so non-biased. All this information.
Do you understand what I say when I say it's relative to the perspective of the person that's seeing it from the position that they are?
You're just that was word salad, dude.
No. If you understand that, then you know what I'm talking about. It's not difficult to understand.
The perspective is in relative to the how far your eyes are apart. That's what actually creates the perspective. That's what creates the depth of vision.
Shout out to Dogmatic Dell Beyond the Imaginary Curve. How you doing, buddy? Great talk from the other night. I think I'm actually talking to one of one of your freaking inductees right now. He sounds like from your side of the pond over there.
What would you call me, an inductee into what? Do you think I'm part of
The cult? Yeah, the cult. The cult of flat Earth.
Are you a religious person?
Yes, he is.
Do you believe in God in a really, really deep sense? Do you have faith?
No, his
Believes in
religion is
visions
that
of
there is none,
holograms.
and that
Believes
it's a
in
globe.
lighthouses that aren't there.
He doesn't believe in religion.
No, a real religious fanatic doesn't believe in a religion. He believes that he knows the truth, and that anything that disproves that truth is a lie. That's what a
Truth is,
real
it's a
religious
hologram.
person does.
That's the truth, man.
Does not
Praise
figure
be to
out
the
what the
Baal.
I've always
truth is.
gone on the assumption that what I see, I believe.
Nettie,
If I can't see it
Nettie,
from any angle, then I don't believe it.
Nettie, what are you smoking?
I don't know, man. That dude is weird, man. I'm about to give up on him.
Why would you have to give up on me? Because you don't have a relative debate or direction to argue in?
Because you
No,
can't
actually,
be
I was trying to
manipulated
tell
into
you-
their
No,
religion.
I
That's
was trying
why
to
you
tell
have
you
to be
that-
on drugs or you have to be crazy.
One at a
That's why
time,
I
You
stand
have
guys.
to be on drugs. You're
One
on
at a
horny
time.
goat weed, dude. What are you
No,
talking
I'm
about?
not.
You're not on your drugs anymore. You're horny goat weed.
It's not drugs. It's herbs.
Yes, it is.
It is
Don't
a
think
proven scientific fact that it
Oh yeah, why
works
don't
the
you go
way
to
it does.
Infowars.com
And
and
it's
go
not
buy some
drugs,
snake
it's not
oil?
even mind
Direction of the
influence.
conversation. It's not really helping, is it?
Have you ever looked it up, horny goat weed? It is a real thing. It is a real Chinese
Infowars.com.
traditional medicine. It's not a drug.
Infowars.com.
Yeah,
Why
no,
wouldn't you
but
call it a
it
drug, Alwyn?
exists
Sorry.
outside of
Sorry, Alwyn, can I just
Infowars.com.
ask a quick question? Why wouldn't
They
you call it a
just
drug?
use it. It's
Why
been
wouldn't you
there
call it a
for
drug, though?
1,000 years.
Why wouldn't you call it a drug?
It's classified into the specific species of whatever it is by society. It's a PC thing. It's whatever people want to
Is a
label it.
carrot a drug?
This guy.
Is a carrot a drug? It has some influence on people.
No.
In it.
It does something with your constitution. It has influence. Does that make it a drug?
Probably. Yeah.
Carrots.
Carrots are
Carrots, drugs.
drug.
I'm asking you.
Somebody call Bugs Bunny.
That's kind of why I was asking what
Or
defines a
just
drug.
lettuce. Is lettuce a drug?
Well,
Of course it
no,
is.
Lattice.
lettuce. I don't know what
Lettuce.
defines a drug.
Or
If
enhances you
it's
in any
having an
chemical
effect
way,
on a
then
medical
it's classed as a
condition,
drug.
then surely it's a drug.
Really? So then bread is also a drug.
Of course it is. Everything's a drug.
Okay,
It's
well
pizzas.
then I don't mind if you call it a drug. If you
This guy is
classify
pro
everything as
trolling
drugs, then yeah, sure, it's a drug.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's a
Tim.
drug.
Tim, don't go partying
Water
with
is a
these
drug
guys.
too, you know.
Carrots and lettuce.
As a
Bread.
drug, we're addicted
Sounds
to
like a
it. We need it.
sandwich.
Specific.
Water can be really addictive, especially when you're thirsty.
Yep.
Oh, we're being trolled, dude. This is great.
No, you're just being reflected back what you're trying to smear on us.
Yeah.
It's true. I've heard of people
Yeah,
who've overdosed
like
on
knowledge.
water as well. If you look up a case,
Stop being
there's a case.
pedantic.
There's people who've overdosed on water, literally.
Yeah,
Dies
it's a
and drown.
dangerous drug.
Yeah.
man.
Drown.
Doesn't
And
mean it's a
everybody in
drug.
the world's addictive to it. Like, we need like rehab programs for water because, yeah, we can't have people drink water, man. That's dangerous.
Way too much water. Yeah, it's bad for you.
Hey,
Yeah.
Dogmatic Dell of Beyond the Imaginary Curve. The link is in the description box. Instead of just being a chat troll, why don't you go ahead and join us and tell us how water is flat and there is no measurable curve, even though you've never measured the curvature. Come on, buddy. You can eat
I
some
mean, I can
carrots.
tell you
and
that, though.
snort
There is
some
no measurable
horny goat
curvature.
Water
weed.
is not
That's
flat. Water is
demonstratable with
fluid.
the
It
lighthouse
just
that you think you
confirms
can't
to
see.
the shape.
Sorry, Arwin. I just want to point out that there's no measurable curvature between the Moorcourt Lighthouse and St Bees, and it's 31 miles away. And atmospheric conditions seem to have fallen apart because they've gone back on a different day and got the same result. So that's a hologram in your model, right?
Did you measure it with a P900? Is that your measuring device? I guess that's better than the water. Water measuring water like Dell does.
Yeah, you seem to be avoiding my question. My question was
Does change.
my question was that's a hologram, right? In your world, it's not there.
No, I will. I refuse to call it a hologram. That's silly.
Call it what you like. You can call it
When
looming
it's not
if it
according
makes you
to
feel better.
reality,
You
then
can call it
everything must be a
slightly
hologram.
looming non-standard refraction hyena for all I care. I don't care what you call it. I don't care about the semantics of whether or not something's there or not. It ain't there in your model.
I don't know what you define as there. It's not there, even though we're
Really?
seeing
You
it.
don't
I
know what the word
understand.
there means? What kind of a retard are you?
Oh boy,
Yeah.
here we go.
What
Yeah.
kind of a retard?
Nathan's getting
are you?
triggered
It's
again.
a good. No, it's a good.
No, not
it's actually a
triggered.
good
I'm asking a
statement.
question.
You are acting
you
kind
dense?
of retarded.
Do you
right
know?
now.
Do you want me to bring
Oh,
up the
boy.
definition of the word there? Are you really that thick? I'm asking.
Yeah. Well, he thinks that water and lettuce is a drug. So
I didn't say that. The other dude did.
no, you did.
Let's get the correct definition of retard here. Retard
It's
means a
geometrically
person that
impossible
doesn't want
to
Retard
be
means
physically
slow.
there.
Slow
Do not
in
have a
mind.
line of
It
sight with
seems
it.
to be.
It's not there.
Right.
What part of that don't you understand? Do you accept it or deny it? Are you a denier of your own model?
Fact refuses.
Are you a denier, Tim, of your own model? Are you going to
Yes.
accept that it's slightly looming non-standard refraction hyena? Or give me another really weird term to explain this band-aid theory for the geometric impossibility of that lighthouse being there, or not?
You're going to tell me as a flat earther about geometric impossibilities? Are you
Yeah, I know how to
joking
look at a
right
model
now?
and assess whether or not something's there or not.
It doesn't
I
matter
find
to
that
him. We're
It's
flat.
all right, Larwin.
Hilarious.
Let the silence roll, Larwin. So, do you accept that it's not there?
Nope, I don't.
So you're a denier. What a pathetic individual. Just a denier. No evidence unless you're smearing somebody. And then you deny the evidence of your own model. What a worm. All right, mate. You be a denier.
Do you think I'd be upset by that, or?
No,
Kidding?
you deny your model all you like. It's good. The more people deny their own model, the better.
If you deny everything, then nothing upsets you. So
Maybe he's denying
it's a
the
good way to go
denying
about
the-
life.
Maybe he's denying his ability to think about his own model and how it actually works because he's got no proof of his own how it all works.
Or doesn't work, as the case may be.
Or doesn't work at all, yeah. A probability, yeah. A high
Well,
probability.
since you guys can say that all of NASA's photography is fake, I'm
That's a
just going
good
to say
subject
that the
change
Isle of
right there.
Man
So we're going to get an
photography
answer
is
about
fake.
this hologram. You're just going to continue denying that it's a geometric impossibility to
So
see it.
I think that actually it's fake.
Fake
fake,
footage that have
CGI,
gone back and
fake.
repeated today.
Yeah.
They could show us live.
You're fake.
You're fake. Wow.
This is
That
what it
was-
descends to.
Oh,
wow,
This is
isn't it?
really pathetic.
I
This is
wouldn't
what it
say
descends
all
to.
NASA's
Wow.
photographs are fake.
Wow.
I think
Tricky
the way in
question.
which the-
Try and move over to NASA
together
and then
are fake.
start saying, you're fake. This is the best you can do.
Well, it's better than telling everybody that something's Ireland and it's actually not.
Yeah, do you want me to eat that slice of humble pie a few more times? Yeah, we were wrong. The
You
failed
a
globe model led us
moron,
astray.
Nathan, you're a
The
moron.
failed
Are you
globe
done now?
model led us all
Are you
astray
done?
and we
Can
got
have a
Ireland wrong.
conversation instead of
However,
ad homs?
However,
Or no?
the flat Earth proof that was presented in that evidence was Morgold
It's
Lighthouse,
not proof.
and that remains
Proof
the
to use a
same.
very loose term.
Do you understand
What a
that? On the
joke.
failed globe model, we used the Morgold Lighthouse as the flat Earth evidence. You understand that, right? That's why I'm asking specifically about Morgold Lighthouse not being there on your model. You get that, right?
Is Ireland there or no on your model?
We didn't use that as flat Earth proof. We've used
Oh, that
Morgold
changed.
Lighthouse, which is why I'm talking about it.
dang. QED, guys.
Yeah.
QED,
Would you,
we
how many
see
times do you want me
Ireland.
to eat the same piece of humble
Perspective.
pie? Yeah, we were wrong about Ireland. Now, back to that lighthouse that shouldn't be there
How
on
much
your
other
model.
stuff were you wrong about? Like geodesy?
We
and
weren't wrong about
geoid?
Morgold Lighthouse.
His
No,
math was
it's
wrong.
It's not there on your model.
Already been proven.
You
guys
can
are
ask me
wrong
to eat
about
the same
everything.
piece of humble pie and I'll keep eating it. I don't mind. I do have
Okay.
humility.
What about his math? Let's talk about his math.
It's all about
that
keeping a
right?
balanced diet, Nathan.
Chris Maitre, or whatever his name is, not Maitre, but the other one, your little butt buddy. His math is incorrect, correct?
No.
Like blatantly incorrect. No?
No, he hasn't presented our model yet. You'll see it in time. Have patience. Keep up to date with the
I'm
Flat
talking
Earth
about the
debate.
geoid.
Subscribe,
Nathan,
hit
the
the bell
geoid. He's
notification
wrong
icon,
about
all
the
that good
geoid,
stuff.
is he not?
You'll get to see it. It's no problem.
The math
It
on
will
the
get
geoid?
presented. A
The
working
math
model.
on the geoid is wrong. Yes?
A working one, yes. Where yours failed, ours will succeed. You understand that, right?
Okay, are you listening or not? The math on the geoid that you guys just did a video on is incorrect, is it not?
No, it's the math for the WGS84. It's set out by them. You're saying their maths is wrong.
Okay, so yeah, his math is wrong.
It's
You're
not his
creating
maths.
double
It's like it's not
jeopardy.
Anthony Riley's
You can't have
observation
double
height. It's
jeopardy.
You don't
Google's.
even know
It's not
this
his maths.
conversation,
It's
Chris,
the
so
maths
just
for the
shut your pie hole.
WGS84.
Yeah, but it's double
It's not
jeopardy.
Chris's
You
maths.
can't
It's double
speculate
jeopardy.
Tim, you're
on
getting
argument
so
by
angry,
argument.
man.
Wrong about everything. Let's just continue to make excuses for them.
You're starting to act like a cornered cat, man. Get
So
some
yeah, you accept that it's
composure.
not his maths. It's the maths for the WGS84 with its flattening factor.
That's irrelevant as well because the distance is too large.
No, it's not, because they're wrong about that, and they've already been called out on it by several channels now.
No, we're not wrong.
So,
My,
oh, you're
being
not
called
wrong?
out means nothing.
I'm just getting these sound bites. I'm getting these sound bites for the people in the chat that can use them in their videos. So you're
Good
welcome,
for them.
everybody. In the
I'm sure
chat.
they'll get really popular with their nonsense.
Yeah. You know what? The truth isn't sexy. That's why you guys succeed.
Well, when you see the model, you can critique it all you like.
That is hilarious. The truth really is sexy. It
That
is
will be the truth.
unavoidable.
Sex sells.
You
Your
can't-
subjective
you can't hold
truth
it back.
is sexy to you, Arwen, because you're probably beating off to goat's weed on fucking Alex Jones or whatever.
No
dude.
swearing, please.
All depends on how you beat it off.
You have a very dirty imagination, Tim.
It all depends how you beat it off and whether you hold it like an hammer or a carpenter.
Owen,
Yes.
Owen, you
Hey,
said I
Alan.
was Timothy Osmond.
Yeah,
Hold it like
I
a
was
carpenter.
correct.
You've got a small
You're
one.
wrong
I
about everything.
apologize.
Strokes.
You're
like
not
Randy,
nearly
just
as
like
offensive
Riley.
as him.
Riley the coward that tucks his tail and runs when Timmy comes on, doesn't he? Doesn't he? He tucks
What's your
his
name,
tail
Tim?
and runs.
What's your name? What's your real name?
Timmy Osman.
That's not your real
Why
name.
don't you show your face?
Hold on, Arwen. He's just called someone a coward, so I'd like you now, live, to tell us your real name.
Timothy Osman.
That's not your real name. I'll ask you a third time, then I'm going to call you a coward, because you are one.
Is Anthony Riley his real name?
Yes. What's your real name?
Is it really?
Yes.
Okay.
What's your real name?
Timothy Osman.
So you're just a coward hiding behind a fake name. Coward. That's what you are, a coward.
yeah, because
You're an
flat
Yeah,
earthers are
glad you admit
psychotic.
it, coward.
No, he's not
Do you
even
remember?
a coward.
Do you
for
remember what
hiding
happened
behind a fake
when?
name. He's a coward
Hold
for
on,
not
you-
showing his face.
Shut up, dude.
You've never
You
shown
carry
your
on,
face.
Arwen.
Hey,
You go on,
shut your
Arwen.
mouth. You're actually
I'm
wrong
not
about
interested
that.
in what this coward's got to say. Oh, he's muting people and swearing. Looks like Tim Osmond's getting booted.
Later, everyone.
Bye, coward.
Yeah, that's how cowards behave.
Hey, if he was not a coward, he would just show his real face live, but he never will, ever. Because he's afraid.
Owen, you're wrong about that. He
Oh,
has
really?
shown his
Have you
face
seen his real
twice.
This
face?
is me, but I've got to go. Bye for now.
See you, Nettie.
Tim's shown his face twice, so you're wrong about that. as
No,
well.
I've never seen his face.
Well, you've probably not done the research.
Oh, sure. So point me at when he showed his face.
He showed his face at the IPS meetup. There's video of it.
So what? Who cares?
Don't
Can you
get angry,
explain why
Nathan.
the holographic representation of
real?
Morgold Lighthouse
No.
remains there
Yeah.
in different atmospheric
Okay, well,
conditions?
then we
No,
can
he
use
cannot.
his image
He
of his
becomes a
face to
denier.
basically figure out who he really is.
It's a denier. That's who he is. He's a denier of his own
That
model.
is obvious. He's a total... can't even begin to explain.
Nath, just to let you know, now that Idiot Boy's left, and just for the record, I don't run from no one. I just don't like you, Tim. I think you're an idiot, and I don't want to waste any of my time talking to you. That doesn't mean that I'm afraid of you or like in some kind of way, whatever. I just don't like you. I've never liked you, and I never will like you, and I don't choose to speak to you. Simple as that.
He's
So the
only
coward that you
interested
think
in
that-
smearing people. His only purpose, he said he doesn't have to provide evidence of anything, and yet the second he's got evidence of somebody doing something they perhaps shouldn't, he's got plenty of evidence to display it, just to smear them. So he's selective
Sure.
in terms of what evidence he presents. It's crucial that he provides evidence when he's smearing somebody.
Sure. And
So, Anthony, would
He's
you
an
not,
artist. He
would you not buy Tim an ice cream?
what was that about ice cream? I heard someone say ice cream.
It was me. It was me, Anthony. Would you not buy Tim an ice cream? Perhaps a 99.
No, I wouldn't even speak to Tim. He's an idiot.
He's not an idiot. He's quite intelligent.
Well, then he's not using his intelligence, really.
Well,
'Cause
just
he's
let the,
not
let the
discussing
record
anything.
show. Let
He's
the record
just
show. that
smearing,
Ra-
he's just denying. That's the only thing he ever does. It's the only thing I've ever heard him done. So,
Are you
Let
at
the
St.
record
Bees
show
now,
that-
Anthony?
Let the record show that Ranty and I are both up at St. Bees right now. Ranty has literally he's just got back in from outside because it's freezing cold today, but the visibility is great. And again, we were able to see floaty land, we're able to see Mackled Lighthouse, and we can see stuff that we shouldn't be able to see if we live on a ball. So whether it's island or not is kind of irrelevant. What's relevant is that we shouldn't see this stuff if we live on a sphere. And the point is we see stuff. So we are doing like numerous observations as well as measurements. And the reality is this. I still stand by, maintain, and support my own original assertions because they're all accurate based on what we can see.
Let's guess how high Anthony is.
No, let's not. Right, so
Is it
Anthony, can we have a
35
few of the
or
conversations that
55?
we've been having off air now that you've come to a few concessions? Because I'm so excited now that the humble pie has been eaten. Thank you, Tim. I am grateful for you forcing us to be a little bit humiliated about that. Yeah, no one wants to be wrong. However, the good bit now starts because we can, as I've just described, now present a working flat Earth model. So where you've got your band-aid theories and your slightly looming non-standard refraction hyenas, we've just got a model that shows what's there and works. There's no apologies needed for it whatsoever. And Chris can now present this. This is the truth of what our world looks like and how it works. No looming, no slightly refracting, none of that nonsense. It's just predicting what's there, and it is. And you can show it, you can measure it, you can test it, you can push it through any depth of field, you name it. It matches, it works, it's a scalable replication of what Anthony took with his camera, the real world. That's what we will have to present as a model. A real world, accurate representation of what you actually see when you look out and look at what's on the horizon, what's above the horizon. All of that stuff can be explained, including the effects of refraction. Negligible though they may be, they are there and they can be explained, detailed, given mathematics, everything. The whole lot works and can be used to test your world, which is unequivocally flat.
And the other thing, of course, is
building it up quite a bit, Nathan.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to build it up as much as humanly possible, Alan. This cannot be understated in any way, shape, or form.
Have you not learned anything by working with Riley? He's
What are
nearly
you talking
always
about?
wrong.
As I've just explained to Tim Osman, there will be no retractions made. In terms of the modelling done so far, it has been done using two pieces of equipment. Google Earth, a model of a globe, and Chris's model of a globe. Now, when it fails to reproduce the evidence that we see with the camera, those are both failures on the globe side. Failures to replicate the real world with Google Earth. Failures for a scale model of a 24,900 mile in circumference Earth to replicate the real world. Now, if the evidence in that regard has led us to make mistakes, we will blame those tools and the failings of the spherical model to represent the real world. We will make no concessions, we will make no withdrawals, absolutely none. The globe still fails for all the reasons we gave on those models. The fact that Google Earth has led us down the garden path in terms of making identifications, again, will be laid at, the criticism will be laid at that piece of equipment, Google Earth, in every respect. We hope, sincerely, that the people who criticise us will present their evidence that also discredits Google Earth in terms of elevations, even though we've confirmed them and know that's nonsense.
Shut up, Oakley.
Hello, Bruising. How you doing?
Riley, when you threw that 66-foot tape down the cliff and it didn't reach the bottom, how short was it? Answer the question.
Can't really hear you, Bruising. Can you speak up, or I'll turn you up a little bit? Can you repeat that, please?
Chris.
I missed the last part of what he said.
We're actually going to
Speak quiet. I've turned him right up. Hey, Chris.
He's asking how short was the 66-foot tape
Oh.
from the top of the cliff.
Can you hear us,
Got a
Chris?
Oh, you hear me? It's Timmy Osmond here. Come on, man. Seriously, dude. We need some of that horny goat weed in this bitch.
Oh dear.
Sad. Pretty sad. So if you're
At least
ejected
it
for
didn't
swearing,
strike
please
me.
don't try to rejoin using sock accounts. Yeah, Tim joined just to snipe everybody. So yeah, as I was saying, this cannot be understated, Alan. So yeah, I'm going to big it up a lot.
Well, it sounds like another one of Anthony's Trojan horses. I feel sorry for you.
What Trojan
dragged
horse?
the
Would you like to give an
show-
example, Alan?
He's dragged this show down from episode 76. You had a great thing going, but since he joined, he's ruined it. He really has.
What are you talking about?
I don't know
We've
why
now
you
got to the
believe in
point
him
where we've
so
got a
much.
flat Earth proof with a working flat Earth model, Alan. What part of that don't you
It's
get?
just-
You think that's
it's a
bad?
smudge, Nathan.
Obviously,
It's
you
a
think
smudge.
you don't like the delusion that you live on a ball being shattered, because that's good.
No.
That's reality. Do you prefer
I'm too
Band-Aid
old
theories about
to worry about
refraction?
that.
Do you prefer those to reality?
I'm too old to worry about whether it's a ball or whether it's flat. I'm just interested in the truth.
Well,
But
that is the truth. That's
you
what I'm
know.
saying to you, Alan. We're going to present the truth where you currently have Band-Aid theories using refraction. So if you're interested in the truth, you'll be very interested in keeping up to date with the Flat Earth debate. And since 76, as you put it, this is what we have now come to. We have come to the point where we can present a working Flat Earth model. Do you understand that?
Do you not think he's ruined your show, though?
No. I think
Honestly.
people like you who claim to not care but still come on day after day, people like you ruin the show. In some respect, I like to show the fact that people like you want to do that, or people like Tim Osman don't like the fact that we're pointing out that we will have a flat Earth working equivalent where the globe equivalent failed. He doesn't like that. Doesn't like me asking him about his model presenting things that are not there. He asks me to define the word there. Quite pathetic. But that makes the show. You know, people like to see idiots make idiots of themselves, deny the evidence of their own model when something contradicts it. People like to see that. So him denying and asking for clarity on the word there is amusing. It's good entertainment. So no, he hasn't ruined my show. It's caused people like Tim Osman, in quotes, because that's not his real name, he's a coward and doesn't give it. It causes people like that to deny their own model and ask for a semantical explanation of the word there. Sad.
That's just having jokes, though.
No, that's people being in cognitive dissonance.
No, I think what he's doing is reflecting a tactic that Riley uses quite a lot.
What tactic?
Where he
You still
drills
haven't given
down-
any details.
where he drills down
You said
on
Trojan
just
horse, now you've said
one
tactic. Do you want to give an example? Or are you going to tell me that you don't really care again?
Well, Riley went to court on the word employee and lost. And then he argues on here about the word negligible. I mean, there's one guy who lost $5,000 arguing about one word.
I have no idea what you're talking about, nor do I care. So, are we going to get any examples of Trojan horses on this show from show 76, Alan? So far, that's a totally unrelated subject that has absolutely nothing to do with this show or its entertainment value or the quality of proof that it's producing. Do you have anything in that regard? Nothing but stunned silence. That already's been sniped.
I am still here. I've just got stuff going on in the background. Give me a couple of minutes.
Right, man. I'm fine. My apologies for keep on lecturing you, Alan. You had actually been sniped.
You having a what?
So-
Hot vinto. How do you make hot vinto? Just make it like you with hot water. Yeah. Hot vinto.
Can you add Arwin to the call?
So I can't have an about.
Sure. One
I
sec.
was just about to do it. I'm literally just doing it. My kids come over covered in bogies. There you go. Right, off you go, little snotface.
I think I've added him. Can you see him?
I don't know. I can't see him added to the call. I'll just do it. Give me a sec.
I have done it, but it doesn't seem to have worked.
There we go. I've added him. I'm going to do a link in a minute or two anyway, so don't get into anything too deep because I'll be cutting you off in a sec.
Sorry, wrong button.
I think you might have added your old account or something, Arwin. But I asked Anthony to add you. I was just saying I'm going to do a link in a minute or two. Just don't get into anything too heavy because I'm going to cut you off in a sec.
So I'll do your link, and then when you come back, I'll summarise what I was saying.
Okay, fair enough. So, hope you're enjoying the debates thus far. Very snipey and full of denial from cowards, it would seem. But that's all good fun. That's today's show. If you would like to join the show, there is still a link in the info box below this video. Be sure to mute the page you are currently watching before you join the discussion. There are a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number one, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected by me. And if you are, please don't try to rejoin this show. You will be warmly welcome back on the next show. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and a link in the info box once the video has rendered. If you're new to the channel, or you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. There is approximately 1 hour left on this live stream.
So, what do you guys think about my feedback loop?
What do we think about what?
Yeah, I was thinking about Tim and everything that he does so far, and I have to conclude that he is kind of the definition of a terrorist, a YouTube terrorist. He literally uses terror and peer pressure and just pure malign sadism to try to demotivate everyone. And then when it doesn't work, then he just blows everyone up. That's kind of the definition of what a terrorist is, don't you think?
I'd never thought about it in those terms. Interesting way of looking at it.
I think that he is a ball religious terrorist, and he doesn't physically blow anyone up, but he certainly digitally does so in every way he can think of, including hacking, including sabotage, all of it, as much as he can, propaganda, all of it.
Yeah, I mean, he went up in my estimation because he joined one of the ends of the call and was asking about Ireland. And I said, yeah, there's a good chance we'll have to eat a bit of humble pie. Yes, it'll be very embarrassing, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I'm not interested in that. I just want to know the truth. And I was like, that's interesting. You go up a step in my estimation. So when he came today to join and gloat and, haha, you got it wrong. It's like, all right, well, clearly you're not that interested in the truth because so very soon after you denied your own model. So, fine. You're not interested in the truth. You're only interested in smear. You claim to not need evidence when you present any assertions, and yet when somebody's done something that you feel is incorrect, you'll present plenty of evidence. So it's like, sorry, Tim, just a coward.
And a YouTube terrorist. And seeing the responses in the chat after the things that I just said, I think that I pretty much hit a sore spot because everybody got really offended by that. So I think I'm onto something here.
So just to let you guys know, Ranty's just got back from going up the cliff to see what he could see. And we've got really good weather conditions today. and he can see Mackle Lighthouse clearly. And he's took numerous photos of it. It's supposed to be behind the curve of the Earth. You got all that floaty land that appears to be Isle of Man. The land that I suggested might be Ireland. I'm happy to accept that it is Isle of Man. However, it's supposed to be behind the curve of the Earth. So when you see land that you're not expecting to see because it's supposed to be behind the curve of the Earth, and then you see it, you can perhaps understand why I would question it, because it's not meant to be there. So with regards to please using a methodology, it's get your camera, point it, and record what you see. I mean, it's not that difficult. So we still see Mackle Lighthouse. So it's not a projection or a looming, because it would have to be exact again, and it's kind of just there, like Nathan says. So we see shit because it is there.
Ranty going up the cliff, does he mean he's mounted Miss Ryan?
Hey, tell us more. How's your time going in St. Bees?
Bright, sunny, cold.
It didn't look as clear a day because you sent me a snapshot of Ranty doing some observations, and it looked considerably more cloudy to me. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
Clouds have moved away slightly, so it's a bit better.
I'd say it's similar, comparable, but because Ranty's actually had a. Hang on.
It's all go there by the sound of things. Is that you, Jibby? Can you hear us, Jibby Jedi? Is it a fake Jibby Jedi? Earth to Jibby. Come in, Jibby. Nope, just a sniper. No one to snipe.
So Ian Matterson
Tim's
says,
already
any
removed
chance
them
you could take 5 still images of each overlap? You've got loads of photos, haven't you?
I've probably taken about 250 images.
Yeah, we've got loads of stuff, loads that we can go over and make new composites over. I mean, obviously, I only did it with a pan of a camera on video mode, not thinking it'd ever do anything because I never realised what I had. But now Ranty's had a look at it, and we've come back and we'll have much more clearer images now, hopefully. And it'll just add to the conversation, and we'll get better evidence to be able to see what we see. So at the moment, there's not really much point in showing anything because there's just so much of it. We have to work our way through it and work out what we're looking at. And when we've got something credible and clear and tidy, we'll show it.
Can I ask a couple of questions, though?
Lots of it.
Can you stick Ranty on the mic a sec if he's nearby?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me?
You there, mate?
Hello? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Just about.
Can hear you.
I don't know if you can get a bit closer to the
Right.
mic.
Okay, I'll get a bit nearer.
Okay.
Yeah.
When Anthony made the video that was used for the composite, he wasn't at full zoom when looking at Mackle Lighthouse. So have you taken some full zoom images of it?
I've tried to, but it just keeps going out of focus. No matter what setting I use, I couldn't focus it. So I think I've got it to about 1200.
That's about the same as Anthony got it at. So in other words, you're at full optical, maybe a tiny bit of digital zoom.
No digital. No, it's all optical. You go up to 2000 on optical.
I thought the
So,
optical
but when you
focal length
get
of the
it to
P900 was
2000,
only
it puts
1,000.
out
Am I
full.
wrong? Am I wrong about that then? I thought the maximum optical was 1,000 and the rest was made up before with digital. Am I wrong about that?
No, it's 2000. And then it goes up to 2600 with digital.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we'll be late.
Oh, fair enough.
But yeah, it just won't focus
Fair enough.
for whatever reason. It just won't focus. But yeah, I've probably got about 250 or 300 individual images, as well as about probably, I don't know, 10 videos.
I suppose thinking
Different
about it,
elevation.
when you see Anthony's video, that's precisely what he did. He sort of zoomed in as much as he thought he could, and he kind of couldn't get a sharp focus on it, and had to back out a little bit to get it in focus. So presumably you've just found you've got to do the exact same thing because you've got the exact same camera.
Yeah. It's
Cool.
it was tricky conditions because I mean it was pretty slippy today. You know, trying to climb the hill in the conditions that we had. It was dangerous, as Anthony might tell you later on.
Perhaps not.
Maybe not. Maybe you might want to say anything about that. But yeah. 2 P900s went up.
Shut up.
One came down.
Oh, he's giving the game away now. Come on, Anthony. Just tell us the story.
No, it's not
Come
a
on.
conversation we need to have in public.
No, go on, tell us. Tell us about the dedication you've put in.
No, it's not a
Fair enough, I'm
conversation
not
we
going
need
to
to have
bully
in public.
you. Fair enough, if you don't want to say.
No, not with the reprobates that are in chat. Any of the normal people, fine, but the reprobates, they'll spoil it for everybody. It'll be used as a weapon.
Well, all I'll say is lots of dedication has been put into these observations. Sweat, blood and toil, you name it.
Sweat, blood and tears.
Lots of blood.
Yeah, you're a bugger, Ranty, aren't you, really, basically? He said, no, I don't want to talk about it. So you just give the game away completely. Fair enough. No, a lot of determination has gone into making these observations of the flat Earth, which it is. So, just out of interest, because occasionally during these debates, and I'm going to be quite candid, your phraseology to me is such that you're saying, well, there's a curve in the way. In other words, you're kind of playing both sides of the fence when you debate things. You know, well, we are kind of accounting for curvature in these observations and finding out why it's not there. But since you've gone back a couple of times, do you feel in any way like you need to make any concessions whatsoever for curvature? Or would you say, as I would, that there just simply isn't any and you don't really need to give it much thought at all anymore because there just isn't any to be found?
Who are you talking to? Me?
Both of you. You're both there making what I consider to be an excellent observation.
Well, there was a very interesting thing that happened. This two fishing boats we saw on the horizon from, I think, around about 40 feet. So I went down to onto the sand. So I was maybe only, 15 feet above sea level at that time. And I was still able to see these boats. And judging by the distance, I can imagine they were probably at least 30 miles away. So I need to identify them because clear as day, they weren't going behind the curve. That's for sure.
Well, bearing in mind that the horizon's only meant to be 4 miles away. That's what it says on the curve calcs on Metaflunk.
Oh yeah, they were miles further away than that. They were right near the wind farms. You know, they were a long way away. So I'm going to try and identify them. And if I can get a match on them, hopefully we'll be able to see just how far away they were. Even if it was 20 miles away, I mean, they should have been 200 feet beyond the curve, but you could see them clear as day.
Yeah, for me, it's always going to be that. For me, it's always going to be that lighthouse because it's like a fixed distance, and you know, it's there regardless. So happy days.
Yeah. Well, to answer your question, do you feel as though that you need to make any concessions? Sometimes I'm a little bit neutral. The reality is this: if you go and do the observation, you can interpret it both ways. If you ignore the claim of the curvature of the Earth, you can see obstruction on the horizon. You can see more as you gain in elevation. You see less as you descend. You can interpret that as curvature. However, it's not at the curvature rate that they tell us it is, because we see stuff that is supposed to be behind the curve. Now, we acknowledge that there is some element of obstruction on the horizon. We call it a band of refraction, or like mirroring, or dirty air, or whatever you want to call it.
Vanishing point.
Yeah, a point where things, we see stuff that is obscured on the horizon. You can interpret that as curvature. However, you can clearly see that it is not caused by curvature. It's caused by something that's atmospheric, something that's optical. It is not caused by curvature. So I say it all the time, but ballers don't understand what causation is. Causation is the thing that causes that which we see. In this case, we are seeing some element of reflection, mirroring. I'm not sure what it is that we're seeing, but I know that's what's causing it. And that condition that we see is atmospheric. It is not geometric. And that's the point. If you look at stuff and see obscurity, and you see things that are dropping behind what can be perceived as curvature, if you then consider causation and you see what you see is causing it, and you realize it's not geometry that's causing it, it's atmospheric, then you can't prove curvature. So would I concede anything? No, I would say that if you're a baller and you want to believe that we live in a little spinning ball, you will see these photos and videos, and you can get them yourself, and you can interpret it that way. And indeed, Miles the Liar Davis does exactly that. He pushes that narrative. He sees and acknowledges and realizes there is refraction or mirroring or whatever on the horizon, and he realizes that that is obstruction. But he ignores the geometric size of the Earth is quite small, and he ignores how far away these things are that he can see, and he ignores that they should be behind the geometric curve of the Earth. He ignores that completely. He forgets to check whether things should be gone geometrically or not. He accepts that when he sees them, that he sees them. So he doesn't challenge whether they should be geometrically disappeared behind the curve or not. He just sees them, and he accepts that he sees them. However, when he sees this little band of refraction on the horizon, he classes that as the obstruction on the horizon, therefore curvature. And then he lies about his elevation to make it as high as possible. And it's obviously not as high as possible. He's a lot lower than he claims, and we've measured it. So the reality is this. Am I prepared to concede anything? No. Am I going to change any of my views? No. The only thing I'm prepared to concede as far as the evidence is that I'm happy that it's not Ireland. However, all that stuff that we see is geometrically behind the curve of the Earth. So there is obstruction on the horizon, and it does appear to be like a mirage kind of thing. But that obstruction is not the curvature of the Earth. That obstruction is atmospheric or optical, and nothing more than that. So the answer to your question is no, not really. I'm not prepared to concede anything. I stand by everything I've said. And I asked the question, was it Scotland or was it Ireland? Turns out it may well be Isle of Man. But the land that it is Isle of Man on the north side is very low, and you shouldn't see it because of the curvature of the Earth. And the fact that we do see it is still a problem. So I think that's a comprehensive answer.
Now we can move on. So now you've done that, wonderful. Anybody take your sound bites? There you go. There's your concession. He's admitted it. If you wanted an admission of being wrong, I've admitted it too. Wonderful. Now we can finally move on. When can you guys do a show with Chris? Because that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for you and Ranty to be on the show to tell us all about how it failed on the globe, how Google Earth has led you astray to make misidentifications of land masses, how we can make it work on a flat Earth. When can we do this? That's what I want to do. That's all I've been waiting for. I couldn't give a crap about eating a humble pie. Give me the whole cake. I don't care.
Well, Ranty's leaving at about 1 o'clock. Is that right?
Yeah.
He's leaving at about 1 o'clock. He'll be home for about 3:30. I've got no plans to go at home tonight, so I'll be here all evening. I'm free all evening. Chris will be up during the day, so I reckon it'll be like dinner time for him. And Ranty should be free this evening, maybe.
Well, okay, so basically, on the basis that we can tie Chris to being available in his afternoon/evening, we could do this tonight.
Yeah, I think so.
Whoa. Yay. Oh, brilliant. Okay, excellent. I'm very excited. Yeah. Ace.
And I think the thing to remember, guys, is that the closest evidence or the closest artifact to us is Mackle Lighthouse. And Jeremy was the one that pointed that out and identified that, and we all agreed and accepted that's what it was. And at the time, I don't think Jeremy realised it was supposed to be behind the curve of the Earth. That's an issue. And that's the issue that we'll be concentrating on the most, because it's the closest thing to us, and it isn't supposed to be there. So, I don't know. Make of that what you will. Be interesting to see what Sly, the Lie, Sparkane thinks about that. Why is Mackle Lighthouse observed in the evidence, Sly? What's your best answer for that one? Was I on a parachute?
Hi, Nathan. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Sorry, my computer crashed. So, are you really going through with it then? Nathan?
Sorry, going through with what?
Making the big claim on your model after Chris got all the maths wrong.
He hasn't got any maths wrong. What are you talking about? What maths has he got wrong?
Are you sure about that?
I'm asking you what maths, not whether I'm sure. I'm asking you about your assertion that he's got something wrong. What specifically?
Where did he magic the 10,000 figure from?
What 10,000 figure? What specifically are you talking about?
Didn't you state that the flat Earth is 33 kilometers thick?
Right, that's what the maths comes out with when you plug the maths figures in that they give you for the WGS84. It's called a flattening factor.
Where did he get 10,000 from?
10,000 what? What? When he changed meters into kilometers?
Yes. I just can't believe you're going through with it after everything Riley's put you through.
Sorry, so what's your objection? That he's changed meters into kilometers? Is this your objection? Do you think
His
he's got that
maths
maths
is
wrong?
wrong.
Do you think he's got that maths wrong?
Oh, yes, very wrong.
Well, then you're an idiot.
Now.
Well, no, you are an idiot if you think he's got that maths wrong. Such basic, rudimentary maths. Why would you assume that was incorrect?
Well, just look at the history of what's happened to you since
Just you're an idiot. You've made a completely nonsensical assertion, and now you're stuttering like Rumpus when he gets something wrong.
I'm not.
It's mind
I'm
fart.
just relaxed, having a cup
His
of
age
tea.
must
Yeah,
be getting
mind
to him.
fart. That's a good word.
Crikey.
Anything else?
It's just
Any
error
further assertions,
in
Alan?
logic.
Any further assertions you'd like to back up with no evidence?
I'm just surprised you're backing another losing horse.
We haven't lost this race. We haven't lost any horses. What the hell are you talking about?
Well, it's obviously not Ireland. You're
Right,
eating a
we've
big
conceded
humble
that.
pie.
We've conceded that.
But I think he's trying to state that if you make one single mistake in your entire life, then everything you do is wrong.
Right.
That's what
I'll
he's
ask you a
trying
question,
to
Alan.
convey.
We've got it wrong about Ireland. Why does the heliocentric model of a sphere Earth get it so wrong in terms of the observation of Morgord Lighthouse? Why, on the heliocentric model, is it not visible?
Well, the answer's quite simple. Riley doesn't supply the correct height, and he
Yes, he
lies
does.
about it.
He supplies
It's
the height
33
supplied on Google Earth.
55
That's the
feet,
height given.
55 feet. He lied about his position. Gem Panda.
No, he hasn't.
Gem Panda showed that in his second video.
No, he didn't.
Go
He hasn't
I
measured
suggest go
the
and
height
watch
of
it.
that hill. He has made no conclusive evidence to back up that assertion. None. Neither
I,
has
ran out
Al
of
I
Kay.
made no assertion.
Neither has Al Kay
be-
or Miles
don't be
Davis, who have also
recycling
been
dead
back to the
horses.
observation point. None of them have backed up their assertions.
You ran out of
Hold on.
tape.
Anthony's assertion is simple. He was at the height stated on Google Earth. That's
So-
his assertion.
So if every claim you've made is true, I demand here and now that you release all the videos and all the pictures on a Google Drive for people to look at. If you
can
believe
demand
truly,
what you like. I
everything-
demand that you go on camera right now and give your full name, address, and phone number right now, Alan. I demand of it.
Why?
Well, why demand anything?
I demand evidence.
Well, hang on,
You-
hang on.
Right,
Rather
I
the
demand
truth.
evidence of who you are right now. Prove it. Prove who you are, you faceless potato.
Hang on, there is something that we're forgetting here. The reason why the
Where is
evidence
the
has not been
evidence?
released is because I'm waiting for Miles the Liar Davis and Al Kay to produce their evidence that's supposed to debunk me, and they seemingly went quiet when it didn't debunk me, and they seemingly didn't have Dioptra working when it really supported me. That's the reason why. I'm waiting for them to release their evidence.
Question for Riley.
Riley, that
Riley.
suggests to me you've not seen
Question for
LK's
Riley.
videos.
Question for Riley. When you threw the
Hang on, that's
66-foot tape down the cliff and it didn't reach the bottom, how short was it?
Who's this?
How short were you, Riley?
Who are we talking to?
You're talking to
Sorry.
I am a moron.
Yes, I can read. What's
Another
your name,
puppet
I'm a
with
moron? Who are you?
another weird accent.
How short
Well,
were you?
here's the thing.
That would be subjective.
Here's
Come
the
on,
thing.
Riley, how short
When
were
I
you?
show-
No, we'll do a guess. We'll play a game. 5 foot? 10 foot?
No, we're not playing games. We're not playing
15
games.
foot? No,
we
guess.
went there.
No, come on, say one.
We went there.
5,
Wait.
10, 15.
Let me answer
It's
you.
easy. It's simple. No, just choose one. Choose A, B, or C. 5.
No, I don't need to
10,
reveal any information
15.
because all
Choose
we were testing
5,
was the
10,
claim made by the
15,
ballers that
maybe
30
20.
meters of variation on the
You lying
elevation
little
was
toad.
somehow accurate. And
You
I'm happy
lying
to
little
reassert my
toad.
position
5,
having measured it
10,
and calculated it using
15,
trigonometry
20,
that the Earth
25. 5, 10, 15,
Why are
20.
you just counting off random
25.
How many of
numbers?
these
Answer
weird accents do
the
you have, really?
Question.
that sounds like Al Kay, that. It's either Al K or
5,
Chris with Roman
10,
numerals.
Is it Al K?
15, 20. Answer.
If it is
He's
Al
using a
K,
voice and number changer.
5.
It's either Al
10,
K or Chris with Roman
15,
numerals.
just keeps saying
20.
5. He just keeps
These
counting
guys are
in multiples
genuine
of
voice
5.
artists. How do they make up all these weird accents every time?
You can't
No,
even
they're
answer
using
the
voice
question,
changes.
can you, Riley? Why? Because you're a liar.
Oh,
What are
wait,
you
you
talking
know,
about? His
you know
assertion
weird
is the
accents, don't
height that is stated in Google. What's your problem with that? Are you saying that the Google value he's quoted is incorrect?
Yes.
Right. Where does it say it's different in Google? Because he's quoting it from Google.
Google say themselves that it's not accurate and it
Right. So
shouldn't be
have you
used for measuring
provided
heights.
any evidence to disprove that height from Google?
Yes, the tape measure that wouldn't go all the way down to
What
the
Riley's
bottom.
tape measure? He's not released that. Have you got any evidence that you can assert that he's at a different elevation?
Oh, the straw man, if you're not there,
No.
if you've not
The
done
straw
it,
man
you
is
can't
not
be
there.
found.
We are saying simply
Arguing
the
from
value is
incredulity.
taken from Google. Fact. It is taken from Google,
Nathan,
and it
Nathan,
is what was stated. So there's no
Nathan.
lies to be pulled apart here. None. That
Nathan, you
value
weren't there
is
to see any
a
of this
value
evidence,
taken
yet
from
you
Google.
believe in it.
If you want to
You didn't
debunk
witness any of
Google,
this evidence.
why do you
You've
keep
not
talking
seen
over me,
any of
Alan?
it.
If you want to debunk Google, go ahead. He hasn't claimed it's a height of a tape measure. He's never released any tape measurements. He said, I'm using the height from Google. Now, if you're saying Google's wrong, go ahead and debunk Google.
Google clearly state on their own website.
So go debunk
plus
Google.
or minus
Go
30
debunk
meters.
Google.
Such a simple question. 66 feet.
Yeah, but the question
plus
is,
how
the question
much?
is, we
Come on,
accept
Riley.
that it says
66
Google.
feet plus. Answer
We
the
accept that it
question
says on
simply.
Google that they are up to 30 meters variable on
66 feet
the altitude.
plus.
We accept that it says that.
66
We
feet
went back and
plus.
tested it by measuring
Answer
it,
the question.
and we're happy to
66
reassert
feet
our
plus.
position
Answer
based
the
on the
question.
measurements. It
66
is not wildly
feet plus.
inaccurate.
Answer the question. 66 feet plus. Answer the question.
Yeah,
I don't
How
need to
much?
answer the question. I've measured it,
How
and I'm
much?
satisfied that my
5,
elevation was
10,
not wildly inaccurate
15,
based on
20.
Google's
66 feet plus. Answer the question. 5, 10, 15, 20. Easy.
66
Easy question.
feet,
Easy
answer the
Come on,
question.
Riley. Even you can do it.
Maybe if we give you an opportunity,
Shut
I
up,
am
moron.
a moron,
Nobody asked you.
to ask a
Nobody asked you,
concise
moron.
question.
Moron. Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you, moron. Shut up. Back to
Hey,
Riley.
Tim.
66
Tim, go
feet
away.
plus.
We know
Hold
you're
on,
soft.
I'm giving
Go
you an
away.
opportunity to ask a
15,
concise
20.
question. What's your question?
Tim doesn't have any questions. He just has a lot of voice changers and sock accounts and tactics
No,
to bully us. Because he's a terrorist. He's a YouTube terrorist, and
Why
he'll
are you
keep
accusing him of
coming
being
back
Tim
to
Osman?
bully
That
us.
makes you conspiratorial. You don't know who he is.
Well,
I think the
he's
point that
Tim.
they're forgetting. I think the point that they're forgetting is that the assertion is that there is 30 meters variation on Google as regards the elevation, and we've been back and measured it to see whether there is any credibility in that assertion. And I'm happy to say that based on my measurements, I don't think there's any variation on it at low altitudes, and in this instance, there is none. So if you guys have evidence to the contrary, produce it. But I don't have to produce your evidence for your claim. I'm only testing to see how accurate your claim is. Your claim was 30 meters variation, and there isn't any. But I don't have to release that evidence because it's my evidence and it's not my assertion, it's your assertion. So unless you've got something to debunk it, end of discussion.
I will add something to that though, Anthony. That there's a should I release this? Should I say that? There is a further purpose to measuring it, and that information will absolutely be useful to us in our assertions in the future. So that information will get disclosed. It's not that we're withholding it now because we just don't want to satisfy the ballers and their assertions. That's not necessary. As it stands, the only assertions that have been made are in regards to a globe that fails and the representative models of that globe and their values. None of the assertions have been Anthony's. At some point, Anthony might have to stick his neck out and start making some assertions in regards to the measurements of those hills in relation to things that we demonstrate and make our claims stronger with those measurements, which is when they'll be presented. But until then, if you think we're going to back up your claims that Google's wildly inaccurate, then tough. Go and prove Google's wildly inaccurate yourselves.
Just
Feel
release
free.
the evidence.
I'll watch that video. If you've got a video proving that Google's wildly inaccurate, I'll share it.
And with regards to Dark Star, the height is important to your opponent's position, which you're contradicting. Yeah, you're right, Dark Star. It is important to my opponent's position, but it's my opponent's assertion that it's crazy. So if it's their assertion that it's crazy, then they've got to prove that it is actually crazy. GeoStreamer tried to do it by using a stitch that he found in Germany where there was 2 elevation profiles, and there was a variation between the 2 stitches on the imagery. But that didn't apply here because we didn't have that same stitching. But unless there is evidence to support the assertion that in some way either Google is wrong initially or there is 30 meters of variation on the elevation from the ballers, that's where the evidence, that's the assertion, they're the ones that are making that claim, then maybe. But unless that evidence appears, I don't need to do anything. I've been back and I've measured it, and I'm happy to reassert my position regardless of the evidence. So basically, I'm not going to give you your assertion. I've gone up and done it in my time with my petrol money, my time, my effort, my camera, my everything. And you guys are sat there keyboard worrying. I'm not going to give you the information. If you want to get it, come and get it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Go and get your information to discredit Google. Wonderful. We'll watch that video.
Paul Voigt, I asserted that Sleeping Warrior was at the top of the hill at an elevation of 35 meters. Have you got any evidence of that, Paul? No. Oh. So you can use the LiDAR map, sure. But
claims he's a physicist. It's probably a bin man.
So, again, I'll just reassert my position. Just to be clear, you guys claim that there is a 30-meter variation on the elevation. We wanted to see whether there was any truth to that, because it may well stuff things up for us mathematically on the geometry of the ball. Now, I went back, me and Ranty went back, we measured it, and it fell completely within the bands of reasonableness in terms of the accuracy. So we don't have to release our evidence other than to say that we reject your assertion that Google is up to 30 meters variable at sea level. It might be on the top of Mount Everest. You might get 30 meters leeway there, but on sea level, I don't think it's likely that you'll get it anywhere anyway at sea level. But certainly not in this location for the purposes of this explanation. So. And I'm certainly not going to release it unless somebody produces evidence to the contrary that in some way I, quote, lied.
Even if Paul is a physicist, that doesn't really mean anything, because education doesn't teach people how to think. You know, it teaches them to be indoctrinated slaves to corporate America. So.
Well, I hope you're enjoying this debate. We've got about half an hour left on this live stream. If you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and a link in the info box once the video has rendered. If you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you're currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video. Please don't swear if you do join the Hangout, because if you do, I'll eject you. And if you are ejected, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please share this show, as sharing the show increases the audience, which in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. There is approximately 30 minutes left on this live stream.
Nathan, later on I'm going to Coupland's to get some flapjack. How big a humble pie shall I order?
Coupland's? What's that?
It's a bakery in Leeds.
Lovely.
Yes, they make great flapjack, but how big a humble pie should I order for you?
You haven't met my demand, though. I demanded that you release your name and put your camera on and show us your face. Why haven't you submitted to my demands?
Because you're not in charge.
Right. That's a very good point. I'm only responsible for me and what I do, right? Thank you. Thank you. Feel free to demand what you like in terms of elevation measurements from Anthony. Feel free to demand those again, just so I can point that out to you as well.
I'd rather not be insulted.
No.
Let me just pick up on what Paul said.
Get yourself a cake. Make sure it's got lots of cream. Cry into it if you like.
Let me just pick up on what Paul said. Paul reasserts his claim that I was at an elevation of 35 meters when I made the observation. He doesn't need to release his evidence for this because Riley set a precedent for this. Well, actually, it's Al Kay and Miles the Liar Davis that set the precedent, because they have evidence that supports my position and they have not released it. That's the reason why this has all started. And In addition, Paul, I've asked you to produce the evidence of the email from somebody in the council, and I said I will ring them live on the camera on the show, and I will challenge it. And you haven't done that. So again, are you withholding evidence too, Paul, or are you just lying about what you say you have, evidence-wise? I call you as a liar, Paul.
Worst
Anyway,
baiting
Nathan,
ever.
I'm gonna step out, Nathan. Nathan, I'm stepping out, mate. I've got to go and run a quick errand. I'll not be back in time for the end, so I'll catch you later on, Savo.
Enjoy your time in St. Bees. Catch you later
Have
on.
fun. See you
hopefully
later.
with Chris
Goodbye.
and Ranty. You going to hang around, Ranty,
No
or
worries.
are you
Have fun.
disappearing
See you
too?
later. Have fun. See you later. Goodbye.
See you later. Ah, they're all disappearing as they're both on the same mic. What did you say, Alan? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
No, I didn't say anything.
Fair enough.
I wonder if he broke his P900 though.
Yes, he did.
Oh dear.
I think Ranty gave that away already, so I don't feel guilty.
Paul Voigt has convinced me of the flat Earth more than the ball Earth, even though he's really desperately trying to convince everyone we live on a ball.
How would Paul Voigt convince you more of a flat Earth?
Because like when I feel like if he's educated, he's a physicist, and he can't even defeat you and Riley in a debate. Like in fact, I think they've lost quite badly. So I don't understand why they can't just prove that the Earth is a sphere. You know?
Because it isn't. Do love these quiet little moments before the storm. Would you like a coconut roll? Would you? While we all reflect on how flat the Earth is. There you go.
Hey, is the hangout still going? Where's Riley gone?
Run an errand, apparently.
Gone to get some humble pie.
Ah, it's all gone. Had it already.
Greedy boy.
Well, they're always ready to bring in more.
I've been nibbling on my humble pie for about a week.
That sounds rude. So, Arwin, are my eyes still projectors?
I don't know, maybe.
Maybe. Last week you were almost certain.
Yeah, well, almost is not completely.
Do you just make stuff up like Spurs Gizmo?
Yeah, well, that's how you invent new things. That's how you discover things, by making it up and then figuring out if it's real or not.
Yes, Spurs is a weird one. He's great at changing the subject.
Well, not nearly as great as you guys.
No, he's pretty much the king of it.
No, I'd say that you and Tim are kings of changing the subject constantly, non-stop. Every opportunity you can find.
Do you not like Timothy?
Well, what's there to like about him?
He seems like an intelligent young man.
Well, the most evil people in the world are intelligent. Does that make them likable?
Suppose it depends if you're their mother or not.
Well, a mother's love is unconditional, so that's not a really good way to measure love, is it? No.
No, but it's the barometer from which things are measured.
No. Unconditional love is not a real good measuring stick. Because it's
Well-
unconditional. Doesn't matter what somebody is or does, it will always be there.
Is your mother proud
I know
of
you're
you?
not.
Noel?
I was gonna say, like, I know, Nathan, you're not a big fan of Christianity, but have you ever considered how like a lot of our values in the West come from Christianity, where we have things like we respect life, and it's a really good thing because I think a society of atheists who don't care about life or death, is that what you'd rather like be a part of?
I not think all the 10 Commandments just common sense. Love thy neighbour, thou shalt not kill.
God's laws are written in our hearts. It's how
Exactly.
He designed us.
Precisely, common sense.
Nathan doesn't believe in
I'm
God.
pretty.
though.
And stop listening to Him, of course, and then deny everything, and then everything is possible. Your fantasy becomes reality. That's how the globe works. Just stop listening. Stop listening to the truth. Stop listening to your heart. Stop listening to everything, and just imagine whatever you want.
I think values and morals are really important, and one of the big issues I have with public education is they've removed that. So you've got a bunch of scumbags like Tim Osman, and these people have no morals. They don't even know like how to treat other people, and even though Christianity, like, I agree it's a lie and it's like mind control, I do think it's I think we should hold on. Well,
how do you, maybe it's just
How
the
do I know?
religion that's created around it that's a lie, but maybe
we
it
know,
still
like,
is built around the truth.
well, we know the King James version of the Bible was edited by Francis Bacon, and if you go through the first edition, it's just got tons of Masonic symbolism in it. So I'm not one to trust Freemasons. So I'm assuming it's another one of their scams to, get control of people's lives and take money from them. But
Well, aren't all religions basically modified, created, recreated by the dark powers, by the Freemasons and the Jesuits as they went around the world and changed everything to turn it into a cult, into a power structure, to conceal the truth instead of revealing it? And they just use the truth, then build a container around it and use that to control people. That's what religions do. Doesn't make the actual content untrue. It's just the system that's built around it that's the lie. It's a system of control.
Well,
but
that's
the truth
because if
in
you're going
it
to
can still be true.
Because if you're going to manipulate people, you need to have some things, like you take things that are facts or truthful and then you spin them or you present them in a way to get, your side. So, because like if you just I think if you just blatantly...
Anything can do that. It's rationalization. You can rationalize everything inside out. That's how they invented the globe, literally. They turned everything inside out and then made rational structures in there, and eventually it becomes so complex that you can't grasp it anymore, and you just have to believe it. You just have to know the details, and then you think that you know the truth, but you're just trusting on the system that was created for you.
Well, I know that they want to reduce the population, and they're trying to get people off Christian morals and values because Christians value life. And the kings and queens, they don't like that. They like the ability to just be able to kill a peasant for no reason. So that's why they've pushed evolution and ball earth they want us to be materialistic atheists, because the second we get a generation born of people that have no Christian values, that's when the death camps are going to start, and they're going to start putting people to death. And this is where we're headed. So I'm just warning you guys.
Wow, you sound like Arwen. Too much poker, perhaps, P. Mars.
Yeah. Oh, you should try reading Agenda 21, perhaps.
Is that another book on the truth that you believe in?
Of course. Yeah.
No, it's actually
it's just something
written about.
It's something you don't need to know about. You need to know about Alan B. You don't need to know about Agenda 21, because Alan B. will affect your life where Agenda 21 won't. So, you're in a really good place, living in your entertainment fantasy land.
I just live in a small house on a pension. How does Agenda 21 affect
and you don't know what Agenda 21 is, but you know who Alan B. is. See, that's a problem. That just shows where your mentality's at, and you're childish.
That sentence didn't even make sense.
You care more about being entertained than you do about the people who make decisions that affect your daily life, like laws and things like that. You don't care about that stuff. You don't know what Agenda 21 is. You just said that.
No, I don't.
It's just humiliated
That's
you.
Pathetic.
Alan. You
No, he
realise that,
hasn't.
right? P. Mars has just
I
humiliated
fought
you.
in a world war so that people like you could say idiotic things.
I'll say again, he's just humiliated you, Alan.
You're that old.
Henry
World War II veteran, and you really think that we're going to believe that?
Henry Kissinger said military men are dumb, stupid animals to be used as pawns in foreign policy.
Well, perhaps, but it gave you the freedom to say what you wanted, didn't it?
Maybe you can give us an Alan
that
Bennett
will be
impression.
taken away very quickly.
That's
Did that
important,
give
right,
us
Alan?
the freedom to say what we want?
Give us your best Alan Bennett impression after he said something like that.
Why?
Just to show how ridiculously stupid you are and how pathetic you are.
And you wonder why you've got no guests.
Well, I've got guests. There's currently 1, 2, 3 people.
Yes.
I think in total there's probably been 10 people who've been through the show today. It's only a 2-hour show. What are you talking about?
Well, before show 76, you had perhaps 30
Sorry,
or
I've just asked you a
40 really
specific
good
question about this
debaters.
show and the amount of guests that have been on, and now you're on to show 76. Again, why are you avoiding the question? Do you just?
I'm interested where it all changed.
It hasn't changed. This is still a consistent show. There's 120 people watching you make a fool of yourself right now.
And there's 120 people seeing you being rude.
Right, there's 120 people watching P. Mars absolutely humiliate you.
Now, Pete, see, the thing you don't understand is P. Mars is trolling. P. Mars is just having a joke. Aren't you, Pete?
No,
he's just having a genuine moment. No, I thought it was really good what he said.
Dude, I've been going against 9/11 truth since 2004, really hard on internet forums and stuff. I'm not trolling.
I've seen that. But there's no need to be rude, is there?
Sometimes there is.
I'm pretty upset at how I'm just so disgusted with people, the level of ignorance. It's like Twitwit here in the chat. She thinks she's free because she doesn't feel like a slave. It's ridiculous. The people do not know anything about what's going on. I can't believe it.
Ignorance is bliss. It is a bliss that some people just can't let go because they can't handle the truth.
I think you should get out a bit more, P. Mars. Perhaps go to a few bars, meet a few people, join a few clubs. Integrate a bit more. Enjoy yourself. You seem
Why don't you speak for yourself, Mr. I'm holed up in my room, in my little apartment, living on your pension, so-called. You're telling P. Mars you should get out more. Why don't you get out more?
A nice garden. I live frugally, but I'm not.
Why don't you go there then, instead of just coming back to these hangouts to get in the way all the time?
I mean, I try and go out and socialize more. That's a problem I have with isolation. But It's just hard for me because I can't really relate to anyone, because they're interested in mindless nonsense, and I want to talk about things that are interesting to me, which is like, I guess, boring to everyone who's, they'd rather talk about music and movies and television shows and all that crap, and which is fine, but
I know the
it
same
just
problem,
doesn't
but it's
doesn't
not boredom.
stimulate me.
It's not boredom that makes you disconnect, and me as well. It is that the truth is offensive to people, and they either disbelieve
Yeah.
you, or if you get too close to them understanding, they'll be offended and they'll be angry.
There's a-
Like, how dare you wake me up to the truth? How dare you?
Exactly. I've noticed there's a mind control program in people that they're basically trained to turn away, that like people who are honest and who have integrity and are intelligent are kind of like shunned and exiled in our society.
Yeah. But that's because
some
ignorance
moral
is
high
bliss,
ground
and
you're
it is
placing
the
yourself
last
on.
survival mechanism against the truth, and it's built in each individual. You're born with it. People are born with the self-defense mechanism to prevent you to learn too much. That makes life untenable. If you learn too much, if you learn too much complications and you can't handle it, then it'll wreck you, and it'll make you depressed. It'll make you feel powerless. So you need to have a mechanism inside of you to prevent you from actually learning too much. And that's called ignorance. That's this defensive mechanism.
One thing
fends off people like us that just know a little bit more.
One thing I do know for sure is there's a lot of like brainwashing for people to think positive thoughts and don't be negative, don't be negative. Oh, he's so negative. But that's because like if you're telling about the truth and reality and what's going on, and there's a lot of negative things happening, and people are literally trained to like, oh, don't think negatively. Think it's like Oprah the Secret. Oh, just think positive thoughts. Think about you're a millionaire, and then you'll just become a millionaire. It's like this is like the society. It's like total insanity.
You can what they're telling you is you can create whatever dream you want and make that your reality, and you'll be very happy with it. That's the technique that they're handing out to people.
Yeah, that's what Crowley was saying. He's with his philosophy, like do as thou wilt.
What they could actually be doing, which would be a lot more useful, is to teach people to engage in information, master it, and then find a way around it, find a way to still find purpose and peace and just become more. Because even with all these dark truths out there, you can still find light in between. You can still find a great way to deal with it all. But you have to engage first. First, you have to let it sink in and break the illusion dream. It's very tough. It's called growing up.
Owen, shut up.
Aw, did I touch you? Did I touch you?
That's very rude. Why would you be so rude, Alan? Just criticise me for being rude, calling you an idiot
You're rubbing off on
when
me,
you are an
Nathan.
idiot.
The truth hurts. That's why he was like that.
You don't have any truth, Arwen. You just have delusions of grandeur.
Yeah.
You claim to have saved the world in 2010. I suggest more lithium.
No, that's not correct.
2001?
I don't even know when it was, if that even was real.
See, you can't even tell reality from dreams.
Do you think you can?
Well, that experience that I had was a very complicated one. It was so complicated, most people would just completely ignore it entirely.
Please don't.
I think even if you were totally deluded and psychotic and living in your own fantasy world, that would be better than living in the fantasy world that was created for you by your king. So, because at least it's your own, and it's not like anyone has a piece of the truth. Like Karl Rove even told a reporter for the Times, Ron Skidstead, I can't pronounce his last name, but he's told him that we're reality manufacturers. History is just like we're the actors of history, and what we decide, we'll act and we'll change reality again. They create fantasies for us to live in. So, I think if you're psycho and crazy and you're living in your own fantasy, you're better off than being a part of Rockefeller's fantasy.
You sound broken.
Yeah, I think that's pretty logical. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm stupid.
No, he's just using the technique. It feels wrong. It feels like, oh, this is going to hurt me, so I'm not going to approach it rationally and just declare you wrong, declare you stupid. It's their way. It's the technique they have, the only one. It's the only one that can stand against truth. Is to
Hey,
just
Face, how you
deflect
doing?
it.
Can you hear us?
Hi, Nathan. How are you? Hello,
Very well.
everybody.
Good to have you here.
Hey, FaZe.
Hey. So what's your deal? Who is that, by the way, who just said hi to me? What's your name? Like, how do I refer to you?
You can call me Alan.
Alan.
Alan thinks that he's actually a World War II veteran. Like, you could actually have that level of voice at that age. I don't think you're a registered veteran. There are only a few of them left, really. It's ridiculous that you even think that we could believe such a ridiculous fantasy.
Got sniped. Do either of you have him on Skype by any chance? I am Face. No, probably not. Fair enough. Drop me a line, I am Face, Nathan Oakley 1980 at AOL.com. Sorry you got sniped. Sniper on deck joined just to snipe you.
YouTube terrorism, the last resort. If you can't reason your way out, just shoot everyone.
Pretty much like we did at Dresden.
No, you didn't. You're not that old.
How old am I?
Well, you're not 90. You're not in your 90s, I'm pretty sure you're not. Because, yeah, if you were in World War II, then you would have to be 18 or maybe at least 16 when it started.
Maybe you don't
and I
understand at
doubt
all.
that you're that old, really. It seems absolutely
Owen,
ridiculous.
you could leave school at 12.
Maybe in the
Really?
infantry.
So, in England, you could apply to the military during World War II at the age 12? Really? I don't think so.
You could
Maybe
apply at
Nazi
14.
Germany you could. So, maybe you were
could
on
apply
that
at
side.
14. You were conscripted. You didn't have a choice. Unless you had flat feet.
Right. Yeah, so historically, you're saying that people were conscripted at age 12 in England. Right.
No, I said
I
14.
don't think that's historically correct.
I said
And even
14.
then, you're not
Google
that
it.
old.
Google it.
It's
You don't know how old I am.
So he
Well,
said
you're
that
not
the
over
key detail
90.
was
It's
you didn't have a
ridiculous.
choice. No choice. So the government could tell you what you were going to do. Free will, not important. You got told, right?
That's correct.
Wow. That's the world you want to live in.
Unless you're a conscientious objector.
But I think it's just historically incorrect. People were not conscripted at age 12. It's just not true.
Nathan, please explain to this
Germany
bum-
did that. England didn't do that.
You don't know anything.
Oh,
you know
sure
half
I
of
don't.
nothing. And
What are you
that's
talking
not a
about?
lot.
No, sure. 12-year-old soldiers from
Explain to him
England,
that people
right?
in the UK were conscripted in the war. Surely you did history.
Yeah. At 12, of course you were.
No, I said 14, you idiot.
Oh, at 14, really? Really?
Put my address up, Alan. Why are you doing that?
No, that's not me. That's Sniper on the Deck.
Come out of you.
No. I don't
No.
know your
No.
address. I don't care.
Oh.
If you look in the chat, it says Sniper on the Deck. 1309. That wasn't me. There he is again, look. See him?
Nope.
If you would say that you were perhaps a veteran from the Vietnam War or the Korean War, then I'd almost be inclined to believe you. But World War II, no, that's absolutely ridiculous. There's no super old man going to spend his super old age going on YouTube every day, visiting Flat Earth Hangouts. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Ever.
Only. And when all your friends have passed away, and there's not much else, then what is one to do?
And there's
with one's
only
time?
Flat Earth debates? Is that what you're saying? It's the last thing you can do? You can't just, well, maybe go to family or lots of people out there that really do respect veterans and that'll almost worship you for the great deeds that you supposedly have done, assuming that you are actually a World War II veteran. No, I don't think so. I don't
Well,
think
you don't know
are. I think
anything,
you're a
do you?
liar. I don't think you're
No.
Tim Osman, but I think you are very much a liar in a lot of things.
And with that, I'm going to say, first and foremost, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing this show. If you've not done so already, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.